These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Michael Cottrell via PDK. People have been asking for a good explanation on the tiers. There are no tiers. There is no such thing in the gold treaty. There are 4 levels. The levels deal with who gets paid first. Countries, institutions, groups. I'm at the end of level 3. Once I put the codes in, then everyone receives their funds at the same time. Mountain Goat, the concern I have about all this confusion in Iraq is the part about the white paper. They do not have any funding. They still have the corruption in place with the Iranian puppet politicians, and they certainly do not have a functional government either to go forward with many of them. Basically, Iraq needs a functional government to move forward. So any talk about an RV is all nonsense at this point. The best we can target is January 2023, as this is always the radar of the CBI. Militiaman, the court has made recommendation to dissolve parliament. They told us that since the HOR was in violation of exceeding the constitutional periods for over 10 months, they would be illegitimate in anything they do except one item, and that is dissolution of the HOR. They mentioned there was an apparent agreement that took place behind closed doors, and it was to dissolve Parliament. Then we now see if they are legitimate that there is no need to return to Parliament, thus they would be automatically dissolved. By that, it seems seemingly done already, and we may just be waiting on a formal announcement from Kazemi. He will likely inform everyone about his position and declare a time frame for early elections. I like where we are and what we are seeing. With that done in accordance with the Constitution, they'll have legitimacy in the eyes of the region and globally. Mark Zevi of PDK, I spoke to a number of whales involved in Tier 3 and 4A. Man, are they getting leaned on to stay quiet. Whales have very, very large amounts of bonds and or currencies. But my contacts believe that within the next 7 to 10 days, they will be home with spendable money in their pockets. I am hopeful this is accurate because they are very adamant that this is going to be their timing. Frank 26, Firefly, we have been without for so long that I bet over 50% of the citizens here in Iraq don't even remember the importance of a rate like 1 to 1. It would mean nothing to them until it is explained. Everyone here just wants enough to live, to pay bills, to have electricity, to have phones, to make it for their families. Many are calling for a change. We need the international rate to go live to top of expectations. Frank said, I agree. You're going to get there. Sadly, you're going through a process that takes time to get there. Sampson article, quote, Iraq maintains its 30th rank in a list of major gold hoarders. Iraq maintained its global position after it rose 10 ranks last month after purchasing 34 tons of gold to rank 30 out of 100 countries listed in the table with the largest gold reserves, reaching 130.4 tons of gold, which represents 9.5% of the rest of its other reserves, unquote. Sandy Ingram article, quote, Iraq powers agree to work towards snap elections following the unrest, unquote. Sandy says, why is this breaking news and what does it have to do with our over 1 million Iraqi dinars I have buried in the backyard? The answer is this. Whoever is in power can either help or hurt the efforts for revalue, float, or whatever Iraq is going to do. Here's what came out of the meeting. They agreed to for a technical committee with the aim of reaching early elections. Pimpy said, I've been evaluating the situation in Iraq and it's a lot worse than we know. It's not just a matter of getting a government formed. There are other things that I see that are extremely positive, things that I see that can definitely benefit the Iraqi dinar. It's really sad to see both. The one side of great things happening, things that I think are major steps towards increasing the value of the Iraqi dinar. Then there's a sad part of this, and that is really dark shadows moving in and around Iraq. Caparoni says the currency of Iraq, the dinar, is not a lottery ticket or some arbitrary value. It's based on economic growth, GDP of the country. You don't change the exchange rate before economic success. You change the exchange rate as a result of economic success. And lastly, Michael Cottrell via PDK. I've been hearing from things from the military side that it's very exciting, but I am cautious. I've seen this before. I'm trying to not get overly excited.